and you can see both of us.
I got
Yeah. It already started. They can hear us and all that.
Oh, they can?
What's up, YouTube? This Klein Dog and Mom Jet.
And Mom Jet. What's going on, y'all?
We about to watch some crazy anime fights real quick. So
yes, it is still.
Make sure you like.
Still into anime.
Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. We into a lot of stuff. We in the anime.
Is this live?
Yeah.
So they can comment too?
I mean, no, it ain't live. We right now we recording, so we can put it on the YouTube.
So how can we do live watching and record? We can't do that yet?
We can.
We can't.
To get started in data analytics, you don't need previous experience or a degree. The Google's data analytics certificate.
Can like?
Oh, that's what you asking, Mom. I can't go live on YouTube yet. Oh, okay. I ain't got 50 subscribers. I need 50 subscribers to go live on YouTube.
Oh, okay. So what's the name of this one?
If you're like me, then most of your favorite anime are packed with action, adventures, and in some places, even a pinch of humor. But wait, let me ask you, which of the anime fight scenes in 2023 do you like the most? From one of the best last stands in anime to a climactic fight scene that would define an entire series. In this video, we're counting down the top 20 anime fights of 2023 so far. First up on our list is Hanji's battle with the Rumbling Titans in Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 3.
I knew it. I knew this was going to be up here.
Yeah, I actually didn't see it.
They should have had Richard on Transformation.
I didn't see this part right here though. When it was I seen all Titans come up though.
This scene was a fitting end for one of the bravest and smartest in the series. Even though the Colossal Titans were so massive that they made battleships look like toys, Hanji didn't feel any fear and was ready to confront them. Her battle with the Colossal Titans might be one of the saddest moments in the series. And not only that, it helped in her character development, as before she was a curious researcher and now she's become a brave and dependable leader. Despite losing her life and failing to stop the rumbling, she was able to help others escape. When she was out of thunder spears, she used her swords up until her gear blew up. The animation, the soundtrack, and the atmosphere of the moment made it all a fight to remember. And even before the fight, Levi gave her the best farewell. She was amazed the whole time and stuck to her character, dying in a place of glory. Next on our list is an anime that has a really long title. Arnis vs. Algard in the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Now, this one was a fight between siblings who had different beliefs and suffered abuse that made a significant impact on their lives. Both Arnis and Algard are exceptionally talented fighters, but it was back and forth and not one of them seems to have the upper hand. This fight was full of dynamic action and strong emotions. Algard's ice magic was beautiful to see, and Arnis with her sword was as deadly as an assassin. She even managed to deal first blood. I personally didn't expect to see a battle like this in this kind of anime. I thought it was just another slice of life isekai. The animation was on par with Fate, and the way Algard accepted his death at the end was completely unexpected. Even if both of them lived, the moment was so impactful that we couldn't help but be immersed in it. Moving on, we have Kenji vs. Techo in Bungo Stray Dogs.
I started to watch this so many times, but I never got finished.
This fight couldn't be even more satisfying as two evenly matched fighters give their best to win. Even though Kenji looks like a farmer who he is, he's actually really strong and somewhat too innocent. What's amazing is that even when he was stabbed, he was able to bend Techo's sword. This was a battle of raw strength, and even if he was one of the more physically gifted in the detective agency...
Oh yeah, we did start watching this! Yeah, about the boy that...
Even Techo's punches weren't enough to knock him down anymore. The animation wasn't god level, but it was good enough that it helped make the fight scene, especily Kenji's attack, feel as if there was some actual weight behind
them. Who knew that boy was that good? I thought he was just a weak-ass
exciting atmosphere. In the end, though, they became friends because if a strong man meets another strong man, it equals friendship.
I think that's why I stopped watching it.
Because it wasn't English. No, but I think it's in English.
No, I stopped watching it because, like I said, he was the main character, but he
about these Gundam with the suits and stuff like that because I know I'm probably really missing out on some because I just can't get into them.
I ain't gonna lie.
The last thing they went into
I
number
can admit
17
that I'm
is the
missing out
battle
on Gundams,
between
but
Gural
I
and
got a
Shadi
Gundam
in
on Call
Gundam
of
The
Duty
Witch
though.
from
But I'm
Mercury.
just saying,
Now, The
yeah,
Witch
but
from
I don't.
Mercury is one of the newest series that have come out from the franchise, and even when the whole plot revolves around the two
That's the
main
one I got
characters,
right there.
they give some of the side characters some
I just
interesting
can't
moments. The
get
best
into
one
them.
being this.
Oh
Gural
my
is a
God.
hard-nosed Spatian,
And I
while
like
Shadiq is from the
Transformers.
influential Earthian family, which operates under the Benerit group. They were bound to fight one another because of their affiliations, and it was a good thing they did. Unlike other fights in space where they just point and shoot, the fight choreography between these two used the environment to their advantage, making it even more realistic. What Witch from Mercury does that's better than other Gundam series is the way it uses the lighting and the effects in space. It was just glorious to see, and even if it ended in a draw, Gural managed to decommission Shadiq and another mobile suit user in a 2 versus 1.
Anything about Mobile Suit, I can give a reaction by
Do
looking
you ever want to
like
watch
this.
an anime after watching a top 20 list like this one, and you suddenly find that it isn't available in your country? Well, it really feels like you're flying a Gundam, and you can only fly and not shoot. So why did you even have one in the first place? I know that sounds crazy, but that's what streaming companies like Netflix do, because you only get to watch shows that are available in your country, which is a fraction of their content library if you don't use ExpressVPN. Our sponsors, ExpressVPN, is like having access to every feature your Gundam has, including that sick and awesome transformation that makes it super strong. You can bypass those pesky restrictions and finally get your hands on their entire anime catalog. I've personally been using it to watch the new Jujutsu Kaisen season on Netflix. All you have to do is open up ExpressVPN, click on the India server, and boom, you can now watch some Gojo action on Netflix. Not only that, ExpressVPN does something a little bit extra and protects your data by encrypting your internet connection. No matter how good that hacker is and how smart they may be, they can't break ExpressVPN's encryption in their entire lifetime. Find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description below.
You don't care about that, bro.
Beat down. It was a battle between Buckler from ViniTube. Now back to the video. Punching its way into our list is Mash versus Silver from Mash.
Yes, Messi versus Magic.
Now this wasn't a fight, but more of a one-sided beatdown. It was a battle between Muscle and Magic.
I forgot the name of it though.
No matter how good you are with spells, if your enemy was trained by Saitama, then say goodnight. Mash is a brute force warrior who relies on his physical prowess and speed, while Silver is a magic man who utilizes all kinds of spells. Silver is scum, but he was undoubtedly strong, but just one punch from Mash and he was already backed into a corner. Another punch and he was on his knees. Mash even asked him if he could take a third hit, and if it wasn't for that monster, he would have been killed on the spot. Silver was utterly humiliated, and even if Mashal's animation style looks like it was straight up from Mob Psycho, they still stylized it really well. To be fair, Silver had it coming. How many people do you know that can make a broom fly just by running like crazy? Harry Potter sure can't.
No magic.
Damn, I gave my last piece of $100.
This game,
Go get it from him.
you're not ready for it.
Skip.
My fault, y'all. My fault. Clown Dog ain't on top of his game.
I know this one too. Oh no, I didn't see this. I didn't see this.
Next up on the list is the new Trigun Stampede, where we see Vash fight it out with...
I never watched that Trigun Stampede.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way at being with y'all. There's a lot of anime I watched, but there's also a lot of anime I didn't watch. There's too much anime out.
I mean, Crunchyroll and Funimation just formed, so they put a lot of stuff together. So it's stuff that you wasn't, even though Crunchyroll, in my opinion, was better because, you know, sometimes I don't mind reading in the other language and stuff like that. But sometimes I just don't feel like it. Especially if I like watching it late at night sometimes, like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't feel like reading it. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not dubbed, then I'm fucked. So I gotta find something that's dubbed.
Facts.
With Million Knives. A lot of people had negative reviews on this one, especially since it was mainly animated using CGI. They were proven wrong as the series proved to be one hell of an amazing show. Each fight scene was good, but this one stood out above the rest. The way they animated Million Knives' attacks was on another level. It looked like Vash had no chance of winning, but he proved it wrong by doing the unthinkable. Even just Vash's reload animation was something else. But we have to wait for season 2 to finally get to the ending. This anime blew my expectations away because of how fluid and dynamic they made the fight scenes. It might feel like a fever dream, but it's definitely worthy of this list.
Trigun Stampede. I like that one. 気分がいいんだ. Bleach. 気分がいいんだ.
いいんだ. 気分がいいんだ. 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 Yes, sir.
Moving on, we have one of the more recent yet equally good fight scenes in 2023. Kenpachi and Gremmy's.
That nigga right there, Kenpachi. That nigga is not to be fucked with, bro. I promise y'all, bro. He's not. He's not.
Fight in Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. This fight was a battle of the strongest, with each fighter having their unique abilities. Kenpachi has his unbendable will, and he can slice through anything, while Grammy can make anything he imagines into reality. Kenpachi wasn't getting bothered by it though, because even when Grammy summoned the might of America and blasted every gun known to man towards Kenpachi, he still came out undefeated. Their battle was nothing short of legendary, and if it wasn't
that nigga Power, the one that he fighting, whatever that nigga think, it come true. Whatever he think, whatever he dream, it comes true.
Well, I be having nightmares sometimes, so I can't have that power.
Like, yo, that shit crazy.
Kenpachi, anyone else who stood in Grammy's way would have been annihilated. Kenpachi cut space itself, but no matter how wild Grammy's imagination was, he was still defeated because he failed to comprehend Kenpachi's true strength and self-destructed. To this day, a lot of fans still talk about this moment, and rightfully so, because it made it to the top of the best fights in Bleach.
I started watching this. I started watching it, but I ain't never get a chance to finish it.
Next on our list is The Eminence in Shadow. Sid versus Iris and Beatrix.
Wait, Mom, this is the anime we was looking for.
No, I gotta go back to the name so I can put the name in.
Its finest because... Next on our list is The Eminence in Shadow. Sid versus Iris and Beatrix. This was gender equality at its finest because...
My fault, y'all. She trying to get the name real quick.
Excuse me, y'all. Pause it.
I did. Eminence in Shadow. EMINENCE.
In Shadow?
Yep. We're writing the animes down so we can watch it on Crunchyroll.
Alright, go ahead. I need some ice in the tank.
Play War Thunder now. Join millions of players across the globe in massive battles on tanks, aircraft, and helicopters in the most extensive...
You want some corn on the cob, y'all. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Next on our list is The Eminence in Shadow. Sid versus Iris and Beatrix. This was gender equality at its finest because all of them went all out. Sid, also known as Shadow, was a menace to society before and after he was reincarnated. The scene was badass, and the way Shadow casually made Beatrix struggle made him look more dangerous. Iris was just titled at this point, and even with her overpowered weapon and Beatrix's help, it looked like Shadow was the only one that was having fun. It was a thrilling and blood-boiling fight with each side giving us one hell of a battle. The animation was stunning, especially when Iris attacked. Both Beatrix and Iris were full of rage, and the black, white, and red colors as Iris launched her final strike were unique and eye-catching. In the end though, Shadow just stepped on them and made sure they understood their gap in strength. One I am atomic, and the fight was over. If you love overly twisted MCs, Shadow might well be your new favorite.
Boruto. The next one is damn.
Unexpectedly arriving at number 12 is a scene from Boruto when Momoshiki fights Gabaki. Boruto might not be known for its consistency, but there are some moments where you have to acknowledge that it was actually good, and this battle is one of them. After Momoshiki takes control of Boruto, Gabaki steps in to protect Naruto, who's now severely nerfed, along with the others. For some time, Gabaki could stand up against Momoshiki because of his Karma Seal, as well as his training with Naruto, but doesn't last long. They returned the Boruto series to its roots and gave us a classic hand-to-hand fight at the beginning. The animation was also surprisingly good, and the choreography was the one that carried the scene. The moment Boruto's Rasengan was about to strike Gabaki was done well, and it made the biggest impact. Even though there were still alien powers involved, it was refreshing to see that most of the battle was fought in classic shinobi style. Boruto still has a lot of work on, but it might just make a comeback, and manga readers know what I mean.
Yes, Baki, let's go. This shit right here, y'all. Tell y'all. Yo,
And this was the first fight that we all waited for.
if y'all don't know about this, y'all not real anime fans.
You gotta watch Baki, and you gotta watch the Kenshi, because now they got one out Baki versus Kenshi
in the world just so he could face his father, Yujiro Hanma, the most powerful creature on Earth. The reason why the fight scene between Baki and Yujiro is so awesome is because of its viciousness and intensity. Their blows were so strong that they shook the ground underneath them. It's also impressively choreographed, with the movements blending smoothly into one another. This was the battle that defined the entire series, and even though Baki was strong, he was still being beaten by Yujiro. Both of them were exhilarated, and even as Pickle intervened, Baki forced him to sit down, which was pretty badass. This battle showed us Baki's progress and how strong he's become. It was so over the top that it was far from realistic. What the fuck? But it was no doubt enjoyable. As the fight reached its conclusion, Yujiro acknowledged Baki as the strongest in the world, which is no doubt the best father and son moment in anime.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
The world's strongest father, the world's strongest son. Ends here. Not yet. What's this? What anime is this?
I see this.
Next is a fight from the anime adaptation of the game Nier
Write this down.
Automata, the fight between 2B and 9S versus Adam.
Hold on. They go right there.
N-I-E-R.
N-I-E-R.
Automata.
A-U, yep. A-U-T-O-M-A-T-A.
Alright.
Of the game Nier Automata, the fight between 2B and 9S versus Adam. Adam was on a roll in trying to eliminate the last resistance groups of humanity, but they were fighting back. 2B and 9S then arrived to fight him in his final form, which is one giant monster. 2B is the waifu we all want, strong and deadly. They were at a disadvantage, and not only did they have Adam to worry about, but they also had these cannibal robots. The soundtrack definitely carried this battle because it felt so awesome watching it. The animation when 2B sliced the building in half was completely
Look at that shit.
Unexpected. You really have to watch the series to figure out why they're fighting a giant robot monster, and once you figure that out, this is one fight that you don't want to miss. I mean, how often do you see them nuke and use a space laser at an enemy? The ending was sad, emotional, and brutal as 9S forces 2B end things once and for all.
Look, say what's up to my stream, bro. Hold on, y'all. My fault. I got
this morning. This morning?
Yeah, I gave him the weed this morning.
Yeah, that's what we smoked this morning. Say hi to my stream, Lil.
Oh, you streaming? Oh,
yeah, they can see us in the video.
There you go. Yeah, shit.
You already.
Huh?
Ripping their ways is the third season of Record of Ragnarok.
It's my sister Lulu, she pregnant, y'all. Got a big belly.
This was
and
the
it's a
battle
boy.
between Ultimate Evil and Ultimate Good. There definitely was some 3D
this was a good
CGI
fight
animation, which was better than the PowerPoint presentation we got back in season 1. This fight was just as impactful as the others, and what made this even better was that they used the city of London as a battlefield. As all Record of Ragnarok fights go, it was bloody, but you wouldn't really know who came out on top. It looked like Jack was going to be the one who was going to lose, but he did something unexpected. We all know how the fight between them ended, and it was truly emotional. The weird thing is that everyone, even humans, were cheering for Hercules because Jack was just creepy. But the way Jack tricked Hercules and dealt the finishing blow was a sight to see. This was a fight full of twists and turns, and I couldn't have wished for more.
You gonna sit up here and stream with us or not? You gonna stream with us or not?
This is good too.
Yes.
Now we're in
Wait,
the big
what?
league,
Hell's
because now
Paradise?
it's
Oh, yeah,
Paradise,
yeah.
the fight between
Yeah.
Gabimaru and Sujin.
Oh,
If you
shit.
thought the record of Ragnarok fight was brutal, then prepare for this one. In their first exchange,
already
Gabimaru
watched
instantly
that,
broke
no.
Sujin's arm and neck, and if it wasn't for his regeneration, the fight would have already ended right there. Even if Gabimaru burned Sujin to a crisp, he just turned into
I
a
was
guy
looking
and
for this
fought
anime.
back. This was a true display of power for
I watched
Gabimaru
this.
too, seeing as we finally get to see how
could've
he
told me,
fares
man.
against the
I
Tencent,
told
even
you.
when he was at a complete
Remember
disadvantage
you
at
was
the
at
beginning.
Did not tell me.
Gabimaru
We was
threw his
gonna
hand
watch
at
it
Sujin
together,
until he came out on
and then
top.
so he
This
just
fight was full
kept
of visuals,
waiting. So I
especially
was
when
gonna watch it
Gabimaru
until I
activates his
just.
ascetic
They know I
blades.
have no
This fight
problem with starting
definitely
it all over. I have no problem with starting an anime, especially if it's good. I would be like, do it again. Do it again.
I don't want no beef.
Cause you know I ain't lying.
Stuck with me as I continue the series.
Y'all just good too. I didn't finish it though.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
shit.
finish
We
it.
have Torn
Oh, that's him as he got older?
Vinland Saga
The young
Season
boy?
2. So we're back to some classics now. No special abilities, no ninjutsu, and no monsters.
Right,
This
it's
fight was
fighting.
all about instincts and pure close combat fighting
Yep.
ability. What made this battle even more interesting was the fact that there were no clear villain or hero. We all loved Snake and Thorfinn equally, and it gave it more weight. The animation wasn't over the top, but it was clean and a precise fit for a fight like this one. Not one of them seemed to get the upper hand, although we can argue that Thorfinn was holding back. It was so refreshing to see Thorfinn fight back again after the farming simulator. The fight scene didn't look like it was staged, as if it was in a Hollywood action film. It was rough, and it made me feel as if I was watching it in real life. Both of them wanted to win. The only difference was Snake was willing to kill.
I'm gonna have to watch this. Finish watching this. Fog, field, fog. Hold on. Hold there.
Now, this is
Fog,
an
field,
entry that you
5
never...
elements. Of the
Now,
five,
this is
of
an
five.
entry that you never expected to see. In terms of animation quality and dynamic choreography, this one easily takes the cake. Fog Hill of 5 Elements is known for how good its fight scenes are, with each one easily being included in any list that involves hand-to-hand combat. But what made this exact one stand out is the sound design and the extremeness of the battle. It was fast-paced, heavy-hitting, and very flashy. The way they used different abilities to attack each other
Oh,
also
shit.
gave a lot of recognition. Shanji
Oh,
proved to be a beast,
oh,
and even Swan
oh,
and Jing had
shit.
to fight together to bring him down. This is what
Oh,
fight
my
scenes should look
goodness.
like, and if the plot was solid, it might easily become
That shit like a Dragon Ball Z
Get
fight.
out of my head.
That shit like a Dragon Ball Z fight, man.
Yeah. You seen me, right?
Yeah.
Blade of the Guardians.
Blessing us next is another Chinese anime that's so good, I can't believe it's underrated. It's Blade of the Guardians, Dalma versus the double-headed snake versus Changuren. It seems like Chinese anime is showing Japanese anime how to properly animate a fight scene, and in terms of sword fights, this one's top-notch. It started
Yeah,
off with
they showed
Dal and the
the
double-headed
difference
snake
between
taking care of
Chinese
Chang and Guren's
and
men, but it quickly
Yeah.
turned into a three-way battle that was thrilling to watch.
And we
I
watched
can't
all
believe
anime,
how good
y'all.
the way the camera followed their movements was. You still have to get used to the
Sports,
dialogue,
funny,
but once
comedy,
you pass that, you get
cooking.
an awesome fight. You could
Well,
truly see that
culinary
they're
arts.
not holding back. In the end, Dalma was the one that survived, and even then, the way he ended Changuren was brutal and satisfying.
Black Clover.
Yes.
Black Clover.
This is my favorite fucking anime other than Bleach.
Moving up, we have Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King, Asta
Yes.
versus
Got me
Conrad.
going,
Now, this
yeah,
movie was
yeah,
full of
yeah.
impressive
Asta
visuals and
is-
great
yo,
fights between the
this
different magic
man
knights of the
is
Clover Kingdom and the
insane.
previous Wizard Kings who reincarnated. Some might argue that the Mereoleono versus Princia battle was the best, but in terms of impact and grit, the Asta versus Conrad one does take the top spot. Conrad is undoubtedly one of the strongest Wizard Kings because of his key magic, but any magic is a disadvantage against Asta. The rainbow-colored Conrad versus the black and red Asta was just a feast for our eyes. It looked like Black Clover took Demon Slayer's budget and made up for its inconsistent animation in the previous seasons. Even when it looked like he could lose, Conrad gave it his all, while Asta unlocked a new power using his new overpowered sword. This battle blew my mind away, because when do we get to see Asta fighting in space?
Yes, Demon Slayer.
Blitzing its way into the top 3 is the fight between Muijiro, the Mist Hashira, and Gyoko, the Upper Moon 5 in Demon Slayer 3.
Yes.
Demon Slayer just keeps serving us one godly animated fight after another. From Rengoku versus Akaza to Tengen versus Gyotaro, and now Muijiro versus Gyoko, and I wish they would give us even more. Just like the rest, the animation here is one of the best in the history of anime. In this battle, it seemed like Muijiro was just about to be defeated when Gyoko used a high IQ move and trapped him in a water prison. But when he awakened his Demon Slayer mark, the entire confrontation turned upside down. Muijiro's missed attacks were a sight to behold, and the way he decapitated Gyoko's head and sliced his body into thousands of pieces goes to show just how powerful a Demon Slayer can be when the mark is awakened. It was clean, it was impactful, and it was merciless. This was a badass scene that was made better by the fluid movements of the animation. Up next is a fight that recently broke the internet. Choso versus Yuji in Jujutsu Kaisen. When it comes to fights, you already know Yuji always puts on a show. From the first time we saw him throw hands with Mahito to his sick battle against Hanami with Todo, there's no doubt Yuji's become a fan favorite for others, and he didn't disappoint in this one too. Mappa's new animation style looks insane, and the choreography in this first fight was amazing. Choso and Yuji use the environment to their advantage, which makes their constant back and forth look more dynamic, like the moment when Yuji used water to encounter Choso's curse technique. The animation and lightning was godly, especially how fluid Choso's blood attacks were. This one-on-one also gave Yuji his iconic scar after Choso gets a hit on him. At the end, however, Choso won by giving Yuji a solid counter-attack. But the fun didn't stop there, because with Choso's flashbacks comes even more surprises. Jujutsu Kaisen is the embodiment of a perfect anime adaptation.
Yes, One Piece. Luffy versus Kaido. Yes, Gear 5,
finally,
baby.
the fight that lasted 4 rounds and more than a year. We have Luffy versus Kaido in One Piece. Even if it was long and it took Luffy several tries to beat him, their last round was one of the greatest milestones of the franchise, as we finally got to see Gear 5 in action. If you compile their entire fight with all 4 rounds, it would last more than an hour, which goes to show how much build-up this one scene had. It broke the internet and everyone's expectations, as it was ridiculous and awesome at the same time. You can even see the various styles of the different animators that worked on this battle. There was that sketchy one at the beginning, the Looney Tunes style in the middle, and the classic One Piece animation when Luffy used his Gomu Gomu no Bajran gun to defeat Kaido once and for all. It was a massive attack that was just as big as Onigashima itself. This fight had everything in it. Impact, animation, emotions, relevance to the plot, and even some humor. It's without any argument a 10 out of 10 for everyone. If Oda wasn't just a genius, maybe One Piece could have ended here, but that's definitely not the case. This fight is only an introduction to the end, and Oda definitely has more in store for us. And that ends our list for the top 20 anime fights in 2023.
So we gotta stop this one and do another one.
Yes.
We gotta stop this one, right?
Yeah. Alright, y'all. Y'all about to see us in the next video.
Alright.
PLR Gang out.
PLR Gang.